Alright, so today we're doing part 6 of the 2-speed fully suspension off-road go-kart. Now, I know you guys are really anxious to see what second gear is like, but instead of showing you what it's like, I'm just going to tell you what it's like. Second gear is way too fast, first gear is way too slow. There's too much of a gearing difference between the two to easily shift in between gears. So we need to play around with the gearing, and I have a plan on how to hopefully fix the problem that we have. Now this is first gear, this is the sprocket for first gear, this is a 60 tooth sprocket. We're going to be replacing that with a 48 tooth sprocket. That's going to increase the speed of first gear. And then we're going to take, this is the input shaft, or input sprocket to the jack shaft. That is a 30 tooth sprocket. We're going to be replacing that with a 36 tooth sprocket. That's going to decrease the speed of both first and second gear and hopefully fix the problem that we're having. Now, after that, after we play around with the gearing, then we're going to install the battery that I got from Go Power Sports, hook up the wiring, make it to where we can kill and start the engine from the buttons I installed in the last video. And then after that, then we're going to take it up the street, take it for a ride, and see if the gearing actually is fixed. Alright, so we finally have all the wiring hooked up, the on-off switch works, and the starter button works. It turns over the engine. Everything's working for that. Now, knowing that I had to make a riding video of the go-kart, of the dirt bike, and of the skateboard, and also knowing that the GoPros I have, the GoPro Hero 4 Silver and the GoPro Session, they're not the best GoPro cameras, and they don't produce the best image quality. Knowing that, yesterday I went out and bought a brand new GoPro Hero 6, hoping that this was going to solve my problem of having just potato vision when I'm making a riding video. Now, don't get me wrong, this is a great camera. It can do 4K at 60 frames per second. It can also do 1080p at 240 frames per second, which is really good, really clear. Unfortunately, my computer, my laptop that I have just can't handle the kind of videos that this camera produces. I can't edit them. My editing software just can't handle it. My computer can't handle it. So, unfortunately, you know, I have this awesome GoPro. I just can't edit the videos with the better image quality, which is super frustrating. But what it can handle is if I turn the resolution down to 1080p at 120 or 140 frames per second, my computer can handle that, which is still better than what my GoPros can handle, but it's still not the best that this camera produces. So it's extremely frustrating, you know, buying a camera and knowing that it can do this awesome, really clear footage, just not being able to use it. Now, unfortunately, I'm still using my laptop. My main computer is still in the shop. It's been in the shop for almost a month, and I got a call a couple days ago saying that it's going to take another 2 or 3 weeks before it's done because they still don't know what's wrong with it. So I'm still using my laptop, which is old. It doesn't really work that well. So hopefully, once I get my main computer back, hopefully I'll be able to use this GoPro to its full potential and be able to do 1080p at 240 frames per second, which is the best quality that I can do with fast-moving objects. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because I want to let you guys know that I'm trying to get better cameras, I'm trying to get better image quality. It's just nothing wants to see. Nothing just wants to work out. Nothing just wants to cooperate for me right now, which is extremely frustrating. Anyway, enough rambling, so let's just take the GoPros that we have, strap them to the go-kart, take the go-kart up the street, and see how fast this thing can go. Alright, so I got multiple cameras on. Everything should be on. Everything should be working. Hopefully this all works out. There we go. Choke. I forgot to turn the fuel on. Come on!
just pulling. Engine running. Beautiful.
Alright, so as you can see, it's definitely not the fastest go-kart I have, but that really doesn't matter because it's more of an off-road go-kart. I mean, speed doesn't really matter when it's an off-road go-kart, so I think it's fine. I think the gearing's fine. I think I'm going to leave the gearing how it is. Unfortunately, the 2-speed transmission, it doesn't really work that well with the size and the weight of this go-kart. I mean, for it to really work properly, you really need a fully manual clutch where you can fully disengage it at will. Then it would work a whole lot better, but right now it just, shifting is a little bit hard, you know, when you're moving. Going from first to second, you really have to match the RPMs. Otherwise, you grind the gears, you just, it makes a lot of noise, it jerks forward, or if you're going from second to down to first, it's either extremely hard to move the lever, or you just jam into first gear and it locks up the rear end and, you know, it makes the engine over rev, which doesn't sound that great, doesn't sound that professional of a build, I'll admit. But it does work, so I think I'm just going to leave it. I really wish I could add a fully manual clutch onto this go-kart, but they don't make manual clutches that can handle this kind of horsepower and this engine, so that's kind of out of the question. So now I'm not really sure what the next video is of this project. I still need to add the gas tank that I want to add for this go-kart, but that's going to be a little bit later on. And now something I want to say before I end the video, a couple days ago my channel hit 100,000 subscribers. I cannot believe I hit 100,000 subscribers. I want to thank each and every one of you who has subscribed and who has supported me in everything that I do. None of this stuff that I do would be possible without you guys helping me, supporting me, subscribing, watching my videos, and all this kind of stuff. Now I have to thank Go Power Sports for sending me the parts I used for this go-kart. Everything you see on this go-kart, I'll be leaving links to in the description below. Go check all that out. But I guess that's the end of this video. So yeah, thank you for watching, subscribe, and have a nice day.